banking industry right now, there's a liquidity problem and it could get significantly worse. But if you had digital shares of real estate or tokens that were much more easily bought, sold, or traded, then you may not have to work within the traditional confines of the banking system, where everything moves like a huge cruise ship. You can actually be more on a jet ski to make moves, or you may be able to leverage. In fact, there's companies out there right now coming out with programs where you can leverage security tokens. So instead of selling them and creating a taxable event, you can actually put them up as collateral and get loans on them. So if they had access to everybody like the stock market does, say these asset owners, these real estate owners, they wouldn't be required to operate within the confines of the banks, and therefore they would have better liquidity options available to them and not be under the gun so much. So from a timing perspective, I think it's excellent. I also think that we've seen some market corrections, and I think that that's really appropriate for launching real estate security tokens. I think in a inflationary environment with asset prices at record highs and interest rates at record lows, a lot of those deals weren't really being properly underwritten. And I think that the changes in the world have caused those folks in that space to relook at these assets to make sure that they're underwritten based on fundamentals. And I think we're at a perfect time frame to introduce real estate security tokens out there while minimizing the risk of people overvaluing the asset.
When I think about technology and, where we've come from in the last, let's say 50 years, 40, 20, and even, and how technology has, made, I guess, our lives better, right? Where, we don't have filing cabinets of like documents that are piling up, at least some industries. We don't have, phone books actually that are distributed anymore. So in some way we're saving on trees, right? Because again, we contact lists are all online. The private securities industry is very much a run actually on fax machines still and FedEx, right? To distribute documents. So what we looked at when we jumped into this space, and it wasn't just for real estate. So, what problems actually are we solving? Well, we're solving we're improving upon actually a industry that's there. We're making it completely digital. We're putting things onto an immutable blockchain so that they can't be overwritten, because if it was just in a normal database of record, well, you and I both know actually, and I've been part of industries actually in the past before where somebody can reach into a database and they can overwrite a record, they can delete it, and they can try and cover up their records, and you can spend then years trying to recover actually the system that was initially there. That won't happen in a platform like Polymath with a blockchain like Polymesh, right? And so that continues to leverage and to build upon actually this industry of trust actually that we're trying to create, and not just for real estate, but for all industries.